Yeah, we are live, sir.
All right, excellent. Tell us, you know that that video that you put on the first time we started this?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please, right?
Yeah. How do we get that to play as soon as we go live?
No, I'll please. I'll please, sir.
Right, nice one. Okay, cool. Yeah, good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, welcome to my live session. Sorry that I wasn't here last week. I had some pressing things that I had to take care of, but it's good to be back, and it's good to be here amongst you again. Yeah, it's always great to be here on a Saturday morning.
In a world where threats evolve faster than ever, security is not just a privilege, it's a responsibility. Your knowledge is your shield, your vigilance, the first line of defense. This Saturday, the Global Clusters presents a cinematic session of national importance. From the shadows of terrorism to the realities of local insecurity, from cybercrime to the safety of your own neighborhood. Our world is changing. Our response must be bold. Introducing Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin, retired, a leader forged in the crucible of military and intelligence command. With decades of field-tested experience, Colonel Oshin delivers actionable insights and strategies you can trust. Learn how to protect your loved ones, your assets, and your future. Don't wait for danger to find you. Stand with those who lead. Be part of the movement that secures and empowers. Join us every Saturday at 9:30 a.m. West Africa time. Arrive with questions, leave with clarity. Security starts with you. Every action you take, every precaution you make strengthens the chain of safety for all. Brought to you by the Global Clusters. Visit theglobalclusters.org. Follow us everywhere at the Global Clusters.
Yeah, hi, good morning, everybody. Yes, it is myself, Michael Gbenga Oshin, as I'm here every Saturday to speak with you about all things security. Yeah, we do cover some other issues as well. We do cover some other areas, and the reason for that is because of the fact that we're building a network here of like-minded individuals, most especially those of you who are members of the global clusters, of which we're still building, and we're trying to bring in more and more people with like minds so that we can start to empower ourselves in the areas of security, and not only security, but also business and business functions. The global clusters, as a lot of people know, is not just a movement, it's a statement. It's a statement of fact. It's a statement whereby we're trying to get people to understand that if you believe in yourself, as you should, we can go places and be something and be somebody. As I said, my name is Michael Gbenga Oshin. This is my Saturday slot. I'm here every single Saturday at 9:30 in the morning, 9:30 GMT. I should put it because at the moment we're sharing the same time frame with West Africa, but it's GMT 09:30. I'm just trying to see who I've got in the house at the minute. I've got a lot of people joining, and I'm very grateful for you joining. Please don't forget to tap the screen as you join. Please don't forget to also tap the heart me at the top of the page to let me know that you're around. That's the way that that's the lifeblood of this whole live feed, and it keeps us going. It keeps people recognizing that we're here. And also, if you can gift, please do support the live feed, because that's what gives me the encouragement to come here and speak with you every single Saturday. I derive a lot of pleasure being here on a Saturday morning. It helps me to start my weekend off with a bang, and in the nicest way possible. So I'm just waiting on a few other people to come in. But in the meantime, if there's anyone who wants to come into the room, and say a few things, I'd be only too pleased to, have you come in and bless me with some of your words of encouragement, because Lord knows, even I need it. Okay, so who have we got? Ligenix, Stephen Olatubos, Joy, Abby, Khalif, Loudest. Good morning to all of you. It's great having you. Yeah, I'm just sorting out one or two things here. La, 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 la. What's happening? Hi, good morning, guys. Good morning. Sorry, I'm just trying to right a wrong that I've got here. Yes, good morning. This is Ademi. Good morning. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the likes. Thank you very much. Yeah, guys, if you're coming here for the first time, or if you're frequent visitors, please don't forget to click the heart me above my head. Thank you, and please don't stop tapping. Continue to tap. Let's try and get it up to 1,000. Thank you very much. BB Show, thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you. You are much appreciated. I'm just trying to... Alright, something's not right here. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. Yep. Good morning, B Show. How you doing? Good morning. How are you? B Show, are you there?
you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah. Good morning, how are you?
Thank you. Morning, sir.
Excellent. Welcome on board. Don't forget to tap on the heart me up top of my head here. You see this one here? This heart sign next to my name. Yeah, don't forget to
How this works. I don't know if I'm still tapping though.
No. You see, there's a right up the top next to my name there. There's a heart that says 27.
Okay.
Yeah, just click on that. Excellent. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. And how are you? Good. Welcome to my live session. I'm here every single Saturday morning. I talk about most things security. As most people would know by now, that my background is military, and because I'm so in love with the idea of us as a nation of people taking care of the security back in our country. A lot of people know, and it's very well documented, that I'm very interested in speaking with governments and African governments. I need to add, on how we can take back what's ours, look after our people without the influence from the West. There's a lot of people, and before we go too far, it's not political. I'm not running for presidency. I'm not trying to be a governor of anybody's state. All I want to do, to be honest with you, is just to be part of something good for a change where my father's country is concerned. And I would like our people to recognize the fact that you don't need to be in a uniform, before people know what time it is, or the right thing to do. And this is basically it. And I would like, I personally would like to see people, thinking along those lines. Mrs. Ademi Matchmaking, how are you? Good morning and welcome on board.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm very well. I'm very well, thank you.
Good morning, madam. Good morning, ma'am.
Good. Do you two follow each other?
No, this is actually my first time seeing you.
Excellent.
Oh, I know this face, so I stopped. Then I realized it is you, so I joined. I've never listened to the program before, so this is my first time here.
Excellent. Well, what I always like to encourage people to do, because obviously we all come from different walks of life and we all have different things that we do. And, I'm part of what's known as the global clusters. And with the global clusters being an African, primarily Nigerian, but it's an African innovative, we encourage people to connect. So obviously, the both of you don't know each other, but it's always nice to connect with people, because whatever B Show does, I'm sure Mrs. Ademi Matchmaking will probably be interested, and whatever Mrs. Ademi Matchmaking does, it will probably be of interest to B Show. So it would be nice for people to connect and follow each other, and then whenever as individuals we have live screens going on, we jump on there, find out what is going on, and we encourage and support one another. This is how we build our networks. As you know, and as is well documented, that when you see the Asian community, they're always very well connected to each other, and they hardly ever need outside interference with what they do. And this is part of what we need to start looking at and to start doing. As I said, me personally, security is my remit, and I encourage a lot of our people that whenever they have parties or whenever they have important individuals coming across the water or into British aerospace, to contact us as a company and as an entity to look after their people or to look after their events. And that's what we do, but I don't only do it here, I also do it in Nigeria. I go over to Nigeria, I give talks on security, because there's a lot of things. And the beautiful thing is every single day and every single week that I get up and I wake up in the morning, there is always something about security to talk about. You know, and I think the most well documented event of the last week or so has been our uncle, our brother, our friend, Dr. Wasiu Ayinde Marshall, who, rightly or wrongly, you know, believing in his own hype, thought it was wise to start flashing the "Do you know who I am?" Words around, you know, and disrupting an air flight. You know, now it's not only that, we've also got the incident of the young lady who was dragged out of an airplane, somewhat very badly. You know, it was handled very wrong, and the proper investigation wasn't put in place, and as such, the poor young lady has been documented wrong and brought out in a very bad light, which I think is rather shameful on the part of our people, and definitely needs looking into, because with my years, or in my years of security practices, and having dealt with such incidences in the past myself, I know for a fact that that wasn't dealt with properly, and there was an element of arrogance on the part of the airline staff. This is one of the topics that I would like to discuss today, to be honest with you. And I would like to know other people's take on it, because I'm pretty sure that everybody has seen the videos, both of Wasiu K1 and the lady. So I'm interested. Bisho, what would you say would be your take on this?
Well, strange one. Because of how our country is, everything that happened, it's not a surprise to me. Because yes, few people, if I may use the word privilege, they are above the law. And you stated two instances, the ladies and Kwamwa one. They were totally dealt with differently.
That's correct.
No law was applied. And it's all about who you know, the position, your social status, which is very certain, especially living in the Western world for a long time. Yes, things happen here as well, but then there are applications that will still be, there's a guideline to follow in a way. Not the next morning, the lady was banned for life from which court granted? What legal procedure have you gone through to actually impose that and publish that kind of punishment? So, well, it is expected, but it is very saddening to know and to see that these things are still happening this day and age in our country. So, hence, it's a mixed feelings for me. Not surprised yet, but still very not happy about it.
Well, you see, like from my perspective, now for so long, right? And I'll be very honest with you. For so long, I've said to a lot of our people, you tend to like to use this excuse of the way things are done in the Western world. Do you understand, right? People keep going on about the way things are done in the Western world. Now, what exactly does that mean? The way the things are done in the Western world. Now, we all live in this so-called Western world. And as individuals, as people, and stop me if I'm wrong, you still want the young kids to call you auntie and mummy, you know, while you're living in this Western world. Right, but you know, you are amongst your people that you're supposed to be educating on the right way to do things, and yet you know, you've been to the Western world, you see how things are done, and yet you still want to adopt or adapt that, what I like to call monkey culture, right, of doing things, and people looking at you as if, well, you don't know any better, but you're supposedly very educated. You know, so what is it that we're supposed to accept? You know, are we to accept?
At that point, Uncle,
Say again.
I hope you don't mind me calling you Uncle. When I see you in church, I will come to you and say this is Bishop, and hence my address, Uncle Sir, to you.
No worries.
By the way, these are two different things.
Mm.
Our culture remains our culture.
Mm.
Then the legal system is separate from the culture.
Mm.
And the application, the procedure,
Mm.
and the policy should be upheld.
Mm.
So they are two different things. Then upholding culture, it's totally different from procedure, legal procedure, policy, the way things should be run. Yet we may have been in the Western world, or yet we have a root, we have a culture, which I would personally not want to take that away from my children. I would still want to introduce it. Yet there is a borderline. I won't expect my son now to wake up and come and prostrate flat down in front of me. No way. Or expect my daughter to kneel down with her two knees saying good morning to me. But I will want them to apply a sort of respect to match up with what our culture uphold. So it's two different things for me. Culture is there, yet we don't expect it to be in the way it's been done 10 years ago, but we shouldn't face it off all over.
Right, here's my question to you.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm a big champion, right? I'm a big champion of our culture, right? Very, very big champion of our culture. But I'm also a big champion of common sense. Do you understand? Now,
Yes.
I will start off with the video of the young lady who was physically and forcibly removed from the aircraft. Now, not only did they violate her, right, and I couldn't put that even more polite, you know, they violated this young lady, right, by exposing her in a very very bad way. But they also, you know, there was no intervention, you know, there was no de-escalation, there was no how can I put it? There was no crumbs, I've forgotten these security terms now, right? But there was no management. There was no management of this at all. You know, all it was and what I saw, you know, from what I know was, you know, people just exhibiting the fact that, well, you know, we work here and we wear a uniform and you don't, you know, and, you know, we're going to call in the police, we're going to call in people, we're just going to pick you up and drop you outside the airplane, which is a violation of her rights. Because one of the things that Nigerians, you know, one thing I love about my people is we pick up certain terms and expressions and we use them loosely. You know, I know my rights, you know, but you've just violated somebody's rights. You know, the person has a right to be heard. You know, the person has a right to, you know, to a fair hearing, basically. You know, but you've literally got in there, you know, and everybody, you know, who works for the airlines, nobody wants to offend the boss. So there was no element of common sense there. Nothing was used, you know, and everybody just went in, they just waded in, basically. You know, and you know, this is why I said to you. Now, my question is this: you know, what is you know, is there a difference, you know, between culture and common sense? And I just want to know.
Yeah, there is difference. There is a difference. And like you're saying, that sometimes what is common is not common in other people's sense. I
agree. But then, if that be the case, right? If that be the case, you know, going back to our culture, the way things are done, why wasn't K1 manhandled?
And it's because of the country we have and social status and what we have adapted to be normal for some certain set of people. If okay, let's make a comparison now. If the young lady was to be a well-known person in the society, they would have saying yes ma, and it's not only to maybe the airport alone. It would be everywhere around the country. So social status in Nigeria, it's actually overruling the law of the country. To my opinion.
But you know, and I know, right now, this is a major reason. You know, in my eyes, this is a major reason why, as a nation, and I'm not talking about just Nigeria, I'm talking about Africa as a whole. This is one of the major reasons why we are so stagnant. You know, we're so stagnant because we give credence to a lot of things that we shouldn't have to, right? And we overlook the fact that certain people who are breaking the law, and I've said this when the very first time I started this live feed, I said that, you know, we want crime to go down in Nigeria. We want the government to be accountable. We want, there's a lot of things that we want, but you are still kowtowing to people who believe that they are above the law, all in the name of, and I say this unequivocally, all in the name of, because I'm rich, and I'm famous and I'm popular. You understand, right? The same people that had grabbed that young lady and thrown her off the aircraft, making her look kind of silly and defiling her, right, in a very, for want of a better phrase, in a very unceremonious way, exposing her body, to the general public, and a lot of people have made a lot of videos of it, and I think it's very, very unfair, right? But you say because K1, the ultimate is a well-known star, he's a celebrity, and by from where I'm standing, should know better. You have now defiled a young lady, right? And everybody's wading in there saying, oh yes, well, she deserved it. She deserved it. You understand? Now, I'm a security person, right? As a security person, right? I think the right practice would have been to have sat the lady down in the plane, right? Brought on a manager or a supervisor, find out what the problem was, right? And take it from there, right? But the one of the staff ended up getting slapped across her face for a reason, right? And I'm not condoning that at all. Mary, hi, good morning, welcome on board. I see you. Right, I'm not condoning it at all, but what I am saying is this, right? If dragging her off the aircraft was the right thing to do, right, then K1 the ultimate should have been manhandled as well. Right? It's as simple as that. You cannot have one rule for the rich and one rule for the poor, right? Because then if that's the case, then stop calling people thieves, stop putting tires around their neck, stop beating them up, and let's all run riot in Nigeria. That's all I'm saying. There has to be as the old adage says, where there's no law, there's no crime. You understand? Where there's no law, there's no crime. And it really pains me to see that whenever they bring a lot of these social media feeds to the general public, right, a lot of it, most of the time, is negative. Where our kids are not learning anything positive about where we come from. A lot of our kids are not, they're not learning anything other than the fact that money rules. I'm going to bring Mary O into this because I haven't spoken to her in a long while. I know she's doing well. I've seen her, I've followed her. But Mary, I know that you know what I'm talking about, and I just like to get your take on this.
Hi.
Good morning. How you doing, cuz?
I'm doing good.
Excellent.
I actually just came into your conversation, so you guys are talking about the situation on the plane.
That's correct. Yes.
Oh gosh, I don't even know what to say. To be honest, they portrayed the perception that they wanted to portray.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit confused as to what her crime was or what she did. It's just it's just sad to see a female, you know, upset for whatever reason it is.
Right. Let me just rewind a little bit, Mary. Now, what it is basically is there's been 2 videos trending this last week or so, right? Now,
Yes.
one of them was this young lady who, I've seen about 2 or 3 videos pertaining to this one case, right? Now, in one of the videos, it clearly shows that the staff on board that plane were very, very rude, right? They were very, very rude, not just to that young lady, to about 2 or 3 people on that plane, right? And when everyone wanted to get off, one of the staff decided upon herself that she was going to block that woman's exit from the plane. Right? Now, the woman apparently, well, from what I saw in videos, pleaded with her to let her get off the plane. Right? That there was no reason for her to block her. That she just wants to get off the plane and go about her business. Right? This woman refused. Right? Now, out of frustration, the young lady struck her. Right? Now, as I said earlier on, as someone who's seasoned in security, I've been in security for, as you well know, for many, many a year. I've been in, I think, over 30 odd years now. Right? Now, de-escalation and conflict management comes into this somehow. Right? Now, as a manager, I would have jumped on board that plane and I would have sat down with the lady and the other person and find out what's going on. Right? But they didn't do that. What they all did was, because the boss is downstairs, everyone wants to impress the boss. So what did they do? They dragged her off the plane, right? Somewhat very unceremoniously, right? And within 24 hours, they put her in jail and banned her from flying, full stop, right? Make it out that the staff were right to do what they did, etc. and so forth. Now, the other scenario was you had K1 the Ultimate, you know, very well-known Nigerian musician, right? Who had a set to with plane staff. Right? They asked him to leave. He decided to get off the plane and stand in front of it, that the plane wasn't going anywhere unless he was on it. Right? And everyone stood there pleading with him. Right? Now, my question is this, right? Now, if you can plead with one person and try and talk him round, why couldn't you have pleaded with the other? Now, my sister B show then turned around and said, well, because one person's got more money than the other. Right? Now, is that legal?
Wow, that's a good tough topic, you know. I was actually a couple of years back traveling back from Nigeria and my plane was delayed. And I was wondering, I said, oh, because I could see the plane outside. I was thinking, we're all being stuck in this particular holding room. And apparently we were waiting for someone similar to K1. And they actually had delayed our plane. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Because of an artist. So Nigeria has their own procedures and policies which aren't legal, aren't how can I put it, when it comes to morality, or how can I put it, I don't know how to put it, but yeah, money does buy respect. Money does buy a level of respect, and I think it is bad, but I don't know what we're going to do as a country or as a nation to change that.
Well, what I tell people is this, right? What I tell people is this, because one of the things I love about my people is you then come over to the UK and suddenly you know your rights. You understand, right? And they bounce that phrase around so freely. I know my rights. You know. Now the question is this: do you know your rights? You know, and or do you have rights? You know. And that's normally my question. You know, do you know your rights? And do you have rights? And if you have rights, do they only extend to you when you're living in another man's country? Just because of the fact that in that country, people have rights, you know, and they tend to want to do the right thing. You know?
I think she actually said she wanted, I saw some of the videos, she actually said she wanted the police to be called. But unfortunately for her, the police would be called and detaining her.
Yeah.
So it kind of sounds like she was being listened to. So,
she wasn't being listened to at all. You know,
how would she help herself unless she had a financial?
Well, this is what I'm saying, right? This is what I'm saying. Why does financial have to come into it? You understand, right? Why does financial have to? The law is the law, right? You know, and I say this a lot of the time, right? Now, you've got a lot of Nigerians who study law, right? A lot of Nigerians who over here join the police service, right? A lot of Nigerians over here who do security. Right, but then you go back to Nigeria, right, and you suddenly become an animal, right? The law goes out of the window, right? People seem to think that, you know, the fact that you've got a lot of money means that you are above the law. Do you understand, right? Now, yes, she wanted the police to be called. The police were called, but then, you know, and I know how it works in Nigeria, right? Whoever's got the most money will then turn around and say, I want her arrested, right? And no one's listening to her side of the story. You know, now I'll give you an example. I was in Nigeria last year, right? And I had an incident, right, at a very prominent place in Lagos, right? And a woman said something similar. She wanted me arrested, right? And I turned around to see who it was that was going to come and arrest me, right? And it's not like I've got loads of money, but I turned around as the policeman entered and I looked at him and I said to him, "Are you sure?" And he backed off, right? He backed off, right? He didn't know me. Right? I didn't make myself known. I didn't ask if he knew who I was. You understand? But the thing is, because of the fact that in Nigeria, a lot of people, you know, the fact that somebody in a uniform turns up, right? That's half the battle won. Right? And it doesn't need to be like that. It actually shouldn't be like that. You know, and as I keep telling people, you know, this is part of what I'm advocating for at present, you know, with my social media status and with this Saturday morning live show that I do. Right, I'm trying to educate people in the fact that, listen, number one, you need to know the law and you need to know your rights. Right, you need to know the law and you need to know your rights. And I'm not just talking about Nigerian law and Nigerian customs and traditions. Right, the law is the law. Right, you can't tell me that you just graduated from law school in Nigeria and that you're a barrister, and yet something legal comes up in front of you and you decide to turn a blind eye and a blind ear because of the fact the person you're dealing with has got a lot of money and that person's prominent, and you don't want that person to strike you off of their Christmas list. Right, what's wrong is wrong. You know, and this is what I'm talking about. You know, we've got two perfect, and I'm actually glad that both incidences happened. Right, because, you know, I said it when it first came up. I said, excellent, this is what I'm going to use for my Saturday show, right? And I need people to come on, and I need to hear people's opinions. I need to hear people's views. And I know that a lot of Nigerians are going to come on and go on about your culture and your habits and what you do, and this is how we do in Nigeria, blah blah blah. But then those same people come over here, and when they meet people like me, right, at an event or somewhere, and I then decide to treat them the way they're treated in Nigeria, right, or treat them the way they're treated over here, right? Then, because I mean, I was at a couple of events over the last few months, you know, a very prominent Nigerian event where I was called in to do close protection, and you know, some people tried to jump the queue, and I told them to get to the back of the queue, and obviously they turned around and said to me, "Oh yes, well, you know, do you know who I am?" And I said, "Yeah, I can see who you are, but I'm still telling you to get to the back of the queue. I don't care who you are." Right? I don't care who you are. You know, who you are is irrelevant to me. You know, I've got a job to do, right? And you're stopping me from doing my job by coming in here claiming that you are who you're not. You know, but the thing is, you know, one of the things I'm trying to promote in Nigeria is exactly that, right? As security personnel, stand your ground. Your money doesn't come into it, right? You could be a terrorist for all I know, you know, under the guise of I've got a lot of money. Right, my first priority is to look after what I'm looking after and to do the job that I've been paid to do. You know, not to bow to you. You can't pay my salary. You don't pay my salary. You don't pay my wages. You know, I've got a job to do. Do it. I'm doing it. If you don't like it, don't come in here. Simple. You know, report me to the boss, and if the boss don't like it and he says to me to go, then I'll go. But then when something goes wrong, don't call me. You know, and these are the things that I keep trying to make people to understand. You know, stop hiding behind your culture. Right, stop hiding behind your traditions. Right, this is 2021. This is 2025. We're in the 21st century. You know, and a lot of things have changed. Nobody is, even in this country, nobody goes around in horse and carts anymore. You know, you've got electric cars coming in now. You've got hydro cars coming in very soon. Right, the world is changing. You know, so why are you still hiding behind a culture? You know, that a lot of these people that scream culture have actually messed up. You know, they've messed up our culture. The culture is almost dying out. A lot of people, you know, a lot of Nigerian families prefer to have their kids speak English. You know, so what happened to your culture of speaking your own language?
I think people prefer as well to have their events in other countries now, from the looks of where weddings are being held.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because they can't control what's going to happen in Nigeria.
That's right. You know, so you've got your culture, right? You've got, no, I won't even call it culture. I'll say you've got your bad habits. You know, I'll say you've got your bad habits, and your bad habits are actually spoiling the beauty that is Nigeria. You know, and that's how I see it. Global president, sir, I salute you, sir. Can you come on TikTok? Because I really would like you to join in on this. I've got some new people that have just joined today, and I would really like.
All right, I will join on TikTok shortly.
Excellent,
Excellent morning to you.
Same to you,
Retired Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin. Thanks for all you do to contribute positively to humanity. I will join you on TikTok shortly.
Not a problem, sir. Excellent.
Can I quickly interject?
Yeah, of course, can.
You mentioned something about Nigerian being educated. For education, I think we, as Nigeria, we are well informed.
Mm.
We know what the right and the wrongs are.
That's correct.
And it's about where the system we found ourselves.
Mm.
And for instance, I was in Dubai, and I topped up my phone, and it was supposed to last me for like 2 weeks. And the next day, the credit went off and everything. I couldn't even access the call card again. And I was actually complaining to one of my brothers that lives there, and he was like, "Oh, just forget about it; it's gone." And I was like, "How would I forget about it? It's my money."
That's right.
He said, you are bringing the mentality of the UK to here. It doesn't work. So forget about it. Just go and buy another one and hope that one will work. And it was strange to me hearing that. And later, and I said, no, it's not right. I need to make a complaint. And he said, like, look, you're just wasting your time. It is gone. It is gone. And hearing that made me to realize there are things happening in different countries that, yet it is my right, it is my money, I used to buy it. But yet, if you want to stand on your right, sometimes it's just wasted effort, wasted energy, perhaps wasted resources. So, checking the system we find ourselves, it is assessing what system are we operating on currently. It's very important, and if we apply some kind of procedure and policy, it will actually help. I will go back to Nigeria now. The young lady, what they did to her was not right, and the airline knows the law. The lady knows perhaps my right is to stay here. Maybe they come and arrest me legally. Having said that, things does not work that way in Nigeria. She might have done that in the UK, and they dealt with differently. I'm not condoning what they did in Nigeria at all, even how they treated Kwamwan or the lady. But there are some places we found ourselves, regardless of the law, the policy. There are some common sense that needs to be applied, so that we ourselves, our dignity will be protected, our privacy will be upheld. In that young lady's, even when they were coming to lift her, she should have applied some kind of, okay, wait, what do you want me to do? Let's sort this out. And again, I will emphasize the airline has done something very bad. It's now about assessing the system you have. How are you going to how they can get away with things?
Right. If I could just jump in there now. This airline, right? This airline, I think I've seen videos of them before, right? Ejecting a man this time. Right now, my security experience teaches me that you do not, under any circumstances, right, physically remove anybody from a premises like that, right, unless the person themselves, right, are physically removed by the police, right? Because you don't even with all your training and all your everything, the last resort is to physically remove someone unless it really warrants it, right? Now, I've noticed, especially in countries like Nigeria, people tend to really want to flex muscles, and the only reason why they do that is to impress a boss, right? Not because it's legal, not because that's what they're supposed to do, but they want to impress a boss, right? And a lot of it boils down to lack of training, right? A lot of it definitely boils down to lack of training, right? Now here's my take, right? Now, you've got a woman on board the plane who is not getting on with a member of your staff, right? Now, you haven't investigated to see the crux or, you know, the genesis of this altercation, right? Now, God so good, someone's recorded it, right? They've recorded it from the time, even before they got to the entrance, right? And it definitely shows, thank you, Sky, good morning, right? And it shows that the member of staff was one of those guilty, right, of starting this altercation. Right? Now, I don't buy, and I don't think I will ever buy, this notion of it's how we do in Nigeria, right? I don't buy it, and I won't buy it, right? Because I don't see why Nigeria, in Nigeria, we have to. Thank you very much, Sky. Thank you so much. God bless you. Right? I don't see why we should always be looking at the fact that, oh yes, you know, in our country we do things different, but then you want to come to England, right, and you want to toe the party line. You understand, right? Illegal is illegal, because if in England, right, as a Nigerian, and you believe in your culture, right, why then do you try hard not to get on the wrong side of the law, but in Nigeria you flout the law all the time? You know, what message is it that you're throwing out there to the general public, right? What message is it you're throwing out there to other nations about Nigeria? You know, we've got, I mean, you know, from experience, you know, and God so good, I've moved in a lot of these circles, you know, in my younger years as a policeman and as a soldier, right? I've moved in a lot of circles, and people's perspective or people's view of Nigeria, people's opinion of Nigeria is just one massive lawless country where people, you know, you've got people from the far right that say that, yeah, we still live in trees, that we're all monkeys, right? That's the reason why we behave the way we are, the way we do, and we're all animals, and, you know, we just need taming. You know, you got people who are prepared to become slave masters again, you know, because that way they believe that they can tame us. You know, they've got what it takes to tame us. But also, if you look on the other side of the coin, you've got people who would genuinely and honestly say that the most educated people in the world are Nigerians. So what perspective, what part of the scale, what end of the scale are we going to follow? You know, do we, in our country, as educated as we are, right, as knowledgeable as we are, as experienced as we are, do we suddenly get to Murtala Muhammad Airport and that Nigerian air blows against us and we suddenly go back to becoming animals again, primitive? Or is it the fact that, you know, when we come to England, suddenly the English air blows on us and we suddenly realize, oh yes, you got law here, you got to abide by it, or else? You know, that from where I'm standing, right, I haven't met anyone yet, and those of you that know me, like Mary and Sky, will know, right, that I don't accept those excuses at all. Right? In Nigerian circles, in English circles, in French circles, in American circles, the law is the law. Right? I don't believe that you only obey the law when you go to someone else's country, and yet in your country you don't even know how to spell it, let alone abide by it. You understand, right? The woman, I'm not saying she was in the right, but what I'm saying is she deserved a fair hearing. She deserved to be heard. You know, a manager's job is to go in there and de-escalate a situation and not make it worse, right? Staff should follow proper protocol and proper procedure, right, when it comes to doing security, right, especially when it comes to conflict management, right? K1, the ultimate, was out of order, right? He was bang out of order, right? And as far as I'm concerned, and from where I'm standing, he devalued, right? He devalued himself, and he devalued Nigeria as a whole, right? He devalued his celebrity status. He devalued everything about him, right? I don't care who is a supporter of his or who's a fan of his, right? What's wrong is wrong. Because if someone else does that to you, right, you will go in there and you will speak your mind, or you'll want to do something, right? So why is it that we make excuses? Well, I don't. You guys make excuses for all these so-called celebrities. You know, what is it about celebrity that makes you all go weak at the knees and don't or are not able to see common sense anymore? Right? And I use the word common sense very, very loosely. You know, we have rules, we have procedures, we have everything like that in place for a reason. You know, it's not, you know, we did, or even like, I mean, for those of us who are Christians, the 10 commandments didn't say, well, these are the 10 commandments, but only these people have to abide by it. All of you who are VIPs don't have to, you know, because at the end of the day, you've got money. You understand, right? We need to, as a nation, right? And I've said it in the past, right? As soon as a guy flashes a uniform and a gun, all of you go crazy. You know, all of you go crazy. You got people walking off the streets telling you, I'm going to get you arrested, right? And yet I've said to someone in the past, do you know the meaning of arrest? Right? Do you know what powers of arrest are? Right? Nigerians, as educated as you are, I have not seen one Nigerian to date who's come to England and walked into a police station demanding to see the chief inspector. I'm being serious, right? Isn't that what you call DPOs in Nigeria? Right? A DPO in Nigeria is only an inspector. Right? You go into a police station demanding to see the DPO. Right? How many of you have ever walked into a station here demanding to see a sergeant? How many of you? Right? Stop devaluing our country. Right? Stop devaluing our people. If you're a celebrity, do your job as a celebrity. Go on stage, sing to the people, jump up and down on the stage. That's what you're good for. So just carry on doing it and carry on making your money. Right? Stop going out there, right, making us look bad. You stood in front of an aircraft because what? Because you are K1 the Ultimate. I'm not a fan. Right? I'm not a fan. Right? And if you believe in your celebrity status, come to England and do it. Right? Come to England and do it. You know, I'm sorry if I'm getting a bit emotional about this, but this is just it. You know, I am sick and tired of our people devaluing what we stand for. Right? It is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. Right? At this junction, I'm going to bring in the motivator, because I know that he knows what I'm talking about, and you know, he's someone who, you know, like myself, is ex-military. He's got big experience in security, and I want to take, even though he's diverted onto something else, but I want to get his take on this. I want to hear what he thinks about these two instances. Motivator, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for allowing me on your platform. Thank you, my brother. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Thank you. I was listening to your passion, the way you express yourself about about the show on the tarmac on the.
Bro, you know me. You know how I stay, man. I don't go quiet about these things. You know me.
I think that's our country, isn't it? We just have to...
Nah, bro. What's wrong is wrong, man. What's wrong is wrong.
If you keep on, there's something about there's one in Nigeria that open a individual.
Yes.
It's just between me and you.
Mm-hmm.
When in Latin Keshorode.
Yes.
In Latin Keshorode.
Yes.
And that show by data.
Very true.
So I mean, like, there are some things we need to teach ourselves, and some in-house tidying up. We need to tidy some things up. But right now, people are now justifying. Okay, for instance, there are so not just that alone. Before, think about university. One for the motto, one for the salary.
Mm-hmm.
Especially especially if you graduate at that time.
Mhm.
Right now, everybody wants to be. They were there's this social media interview with these young people, like about 6 or 7 year old. They were asking them, "What do you want to be?" There's one that said he wants to be a Yahoo boy.
Yeah, of course.
Yahoo boy.
Yep.
Okay, because like now everybody has glorified we call something norm. There's something norm is something that is not normal that people have associated to be the thing. It is not normal.
That's right.
It is not the right thing, but people have just taken it to be now normal.
That's correct.
So now there are some norms like we need to get out now, because if not, it's going to get really, really bad. Really, really bad. And those are the things, little things. Okay, there's another social media thing that I was watching. That they at the school, they ask a teacher asked them to bring was it 15 naira or something? And then the principal put in maybe another 500 naira or something like that. And then it was just. And then the mom inflates it again to another 1,000. By the time it gets to the dad, it was like around 10,000.
Yep.
And I'm thinking to myself, and there's another one to build an hospital. The estimate was $700,000. By the time it gets to the government, the governor for the IMF is asking for 2 trillion.
Exactly.
I'm thinking to myself, look at the inflation. Look at how the money is being. So little by little, we have dropped what's supposed to be normal. So I just think we just need to do it little by little. We just need to start educating people and try to tell. And these things, they cropped in from so many ways because of they didn't think of later on in the future, in the 80s, Baba Awolowo and all the like, they thought about the education system. I want to lapse education in the north, in the east. I want to bring it. This is why we are having all this problem now. Because now those people now so now they have to find a way, a means for themselves. So I don't know if you want me to carry on with this.
No, please carry on. Carry on.
So it's just like carry on. I don't know if we are all religious. The Bible says in everything we should give thanks. Number one, we should thank God for our country. But as much as the Bible also says,
yes.
If we are not righteous in one thing, we have disobeyed everything.
That's correct.
So we should just try to do what we can and just try to brush that. There are so many complexity in that complex situation that we are going through in our country. So many complex ones that all these things are brought on us and we brought it on ourselves. There are some arguments. Some young people are saying that some ladies go on to Dasha or something like that. What did you want? They said the name. They said the name. But all these things is from little things. There's no job. Of course, they have to provide something for themselves. Everybody needs to earn something. We need to earn. We need to think about in the next 20 years, there's no provision for us. In this country, what a factor in the next 100 years. We don't have the plan for the next 100 years in our country. If there's no next 100 years, how would they know where to go or what to do? How would they know? So all these things is bringing so many things to us. May God help us in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Please let somebody else speak because
you know what, Steve? It's always a pleasure to have people like yourself on board, people like Mary, the global president. Yes, I'd like to acknowledge the fact that His Excellency is now in the house. He's the global president of the global clusters worldwide in the person of His Excellency Dr. Adekunle Bagbus. He's our boss. He is a visionary, and obviously he's obviously seen something in me because he brought me into the cluster. Don't worry, Your Excellency. Motivator is actually joining the cluster. He just hasn't gotten around to paying his subscription yet. But I'm gonna keep on at him, and I think Sky is tugging on his left leg as well. He's very, very much a part of one of us. At this point, I'd like to bring in Sky Diva, because this is another person who her take on a lot of these things, and I'm sure she knows what we're talking about here. And the topic that we've chosen to speak about today, as you can see, I'm rather passionate about this whole two incidences. Before I bring in the global president, who is going to give us a serious take, and because he is actually based in Nigeria at the moment, he will then give us his honest opinion about the things we're talking about. Sky, are you available to speak? Hello, Sky, are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on? Am I the one with feedback?
You were, but you're okay now.
About that.
That's okay.
Good morning, everybody. Good to be here with you. Unfortunately, my network has been playing off, so I've kind of been in and out.
Yes, we've noticed.
Of course, I know it's Saturday, so we're talking about security. And you were telling a story earlier, but I didn't hear the full story.
Yeah, it's about the two videos that surfaced on social media. One regarding a lady on an aircraft who was dragged off unceremoniously, and the other one about K1 the Ultimate, the Nigerian Fuji musician, who decided that the way he wasn't attended to properly warranted him now standing in front of an aircraft and stopping it from leaving. They were both dealt.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I just wanted to be clear on what we're talking about. And of course, I think it's a perfect topic to discuss. This is my field. This is my area. This is where I work.
That's correct.
This is where I earn my living. And I feel very, very strongly about what happened. I think it's unacceptable. Both instances. Now, the musician, how did he get on the tarmac? Like, where I come from, that I know. For you to be in that area, you need a high security clearance. Am I right? So without that security clearance, how did that man get there? For him to even have the capacity, to be trying to halt an aircraft with his body, like, is he out of his mind? And also from that level, the people in the cockpit cannot necessarily see you. You're like a tiny blob. And when they're sitting that high, I don't know if they can see him, but some of these aircrafts, when you're sitting high like that, you can't see what's directly beside you. And it was like almost right by the wings. Like, what was going on in his head? I would like to understand to do something like that. Now, in a saner climate, in a regular world, he'll be banned for life from all airspace. He can't fly a private jet. He can't fly on a private jet. He can't fly a commercial jet. He will be banned because he's a safety threat to everybody, to himself and to everybody. So that's totally unacceptable. I don't care who paid who how much, because we know that's what happened for his sentence to have been reduced. I think it's unacceptable, and this is the reason why these things will continue to happen, because there's no recourse. People take liberties, people break the law, and they get away with it. And when other people see that, you can commit these atrocities and not face some kind of consequence legally, then they continue to do it. So this is going to happen again, I promise you.
Of course.
See this happen again. And it will be by somebody who's got the dosh, who's going to pay somebody off somewhere, who's going to make sure that the actual criminals become the victims. So that's my take on the musician. Now, with the private citizen, I'm hearing all kinds of stories. But my thing is this. What I saw was the part where she hit the air hostess, and the air hostess shut the front door, like shut the plane door. That door would not shut if that was my plane. if you touch me, like if you even talk to me wrong, I'm marching straight. You know me, I'm Harry Potter, Harry Potter, your gun. If you so much as talk to me wrong or look at me wrong, I'm marching straight to the cockpit and go and tell my captain, so and so person did this and this, and I promise you, they will walk you off the plane. I don't play with my safety because once the plane takes off, I can't do anything. And I'd rather not fly with you on my plane when you're an obvious threat to me and to other passengers.
Right, if I can,
I tell you the first time, switch off your phone.
Sky,
I shouldn't tell you a second time.
Right, Sky, if I can just jump in there. Right now, the scenario with the plane was that the plane had actually just landed. Right, it had actually just landed, and the passengers were actually getting off the plane. Do you understand? Now, before all of this, apparently the staff on that aircraft had been rude to a number of patrons on that plane, right? And I think this lady was quite vocal about the way that about how rude the staff were. Hence, the woman decided to block her, right, and not let her off the plane. You understand, right? The young lady, because there's about 3 videos pertaining to this one incident, right? And one of them actually shows clearly that the young lady wasn't even at fault, right? It was the staff member who was actually at fault. It was the staff member who threw all manner of customer service out of the window. Right, and she was very rude, very confrontational, and the young lady basically told her mind and decided to get off the plane. But the staff member decided to block her exit from the plane, and that's what caused the altercation to the point where she got struck by the passenger.
Okay, but look at it this way: I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what video you saw, and I haven't seen anything other than what I saw. She slapped the lady.
Yes, I know.
And the
she
lady
did.
apparently shut the door of the airplane.
Yes.
What did she slap her for?
Right.
Why did she get the authority to slap somebody?
There was, well, like as somebody said.
That's what I'm addressing. I don't go to work to get assaulted.
Oh, I agree.
I don't think anybody here in the line of their duty will appreciate being slapped.
Totally.
Do you understand? By
Totally.
customer, by client, it's not done.
No, of course not.
Do you understand?
Of course.
And at the point when you do that to me, I don't care what happened before. If you so much as say a wrong word, like I just said, by the time you were touching me, I promise you, airport security is meeting the plane.
Oh, and I'm 100%.
Enforcement is walking you off the plane and off to wherever you're going.
100%.
And guess what? That plane is not going anywhere because now you have injured me. On the job injury, I'm going home.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And guess what's going to happen when I choose to go home? If we don't have enough staff on hand to replace me, that flight is going to cancel.
Oh, listen, we know.
Guess who's going to have to pay for all of that? The stupid person who decided to touch me. Do you see where I'm going with this?
I do.
And that's why people need to be conscious of what they're doing, where they're doing it, who they're doing it to. Don't just look at your cabin crew as, okay, yeah, this young girls, can you go, and okay, yeah, because you feel like you have bossed them, you can talk to them anyhow.
No, stop, Sky, stop. Sky. What you're saying is 100% on point. But what I'm saying to you is this, right? Yes, you're a cabin crew, right? But the thing is, I know you, right? You, the way you operate and the way you do your work, you do it with the decorum that you were trained with, etc. and so forth, right? But everybody knows, especially in Nigeria, a lot of people who wear a uniform suddenly forget all manners, right? And decide to talk at you as opposed to talk to you. Do you understand? Right? Now, as I said, we've got 2 separate incidences here, right? One has money, one doesn't have money, right? If K1 had slapped a member of staff, right, they wouldn't have dragged him off the plane, right? They wouldn't have dragged because in all the audio that I've heard, because you know me, I do my investigations and I will always do my research. The young lady was at fault for slapping the staff, but as I said to you, you know, I'm going to try and find all the other videos and I'm going to send them across to you. It was what led to this.
Look, what I'm saying is this. The staff member, the cabin crew was rude to her, right? Is that the bone of contention?
Well, apparently there was a lot of altercations before that, you know. And this same.
If the cabin crew was rude, what was your recourse? Let me tell you something. If you're rude to me, I'll be rude to you back.
Right. Here's a question. Here's a question. If there's an altercation on your aircraft, right? You've exchanged words. Right. Yes, you know, maybe the person that responded to what you said to them, you know, they probably had a better command of bad words than you do. Right. And now it's time to get off the plane. Would you then bar them from getting off the plane? You know, despite the fact the person's begging you, I just want to get off the plane.
No, so this is the thing. If you say
Mhm.
the cabin crew escalated the situation,
Yes.
how? Let me tell you something.
You need to.
People forget
It's
it just happened to me the other day.
Mhm.
I am walking, and trust me, when I'm at work and in uniform, you can see this person is trying to get somewhere. I'm in uniform, I'm dragging luggage.
Mhm.
People walk into me. It's like, you saw me standing here, right? You saw me trying to walk. No, we don't exist. Okay, we joke about it all the time at work, and people act like we don't exist. That's here. I don't know how it is over there, but here where I am, we joke about it. Like, this person is only going to recognize that we're human too. That's the first thing. Now, when you're saying she escalated, she this and that, don't forget we're human too. People come onto the aircraft and they check their brains in with their luggage. Okay? Let's be honest here, in case you don't know it from the other side. I did not sign up to be abused. I don't think any one of you goes to work and is abused by people that you have to provide a service for. Why should it be acceptable on an aircraft?
I agree.
Okay, fine, I accept. I'm just like some people will tell you, you're just a waitress in the sky. Okay, fine.
That's people's opinion of you. Right, that's and they're entitled to it. But the question,
and then because you think all I am is a waitress, I don't have a brain,
I'm
educated.
Sky, my question is this, right? My question is this, and I know you're not confrontational, right? But you stand your ground, right?
Yes.
Now, there's been an incident on your plane, right? What's done is done. You know, we've exchanged verbals. And now it's time to get off the plane. Would you then decide to stand, and block my exit from your plane?
I will escort you off my plane at that point. This is what I'm trying to
say.
Yeah,
but would you block me? Yeah, but would you? Yeah, but would you block me from? I'm trying to get off. I'm trying to get off the plane. Would you then block my exit from the plane? Because I'm like you just said.
Your exit off the plane because I want you off my plane.
Exactly. This woman blocked her exit from the plane.
How?
Right, she stood in front of her and put both arms across the exit of the plane that she wasn't getting off. The woman was actually.
Where was airport security?
There was no airport security at the time. They were all probably downstairs.
Wait.
Right, I'm actually trying to find that. Yeah.
How is she exiting the aircraft?
Because all the other passengers had gone. There was nobody else on the plane.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Then you are looking at the video of when they landed. I'm talking about before they took off. They're two separate videos, if not more. Stuff happened before they took off, and stuff happened while they were in the air, and then stuff happened when they landed.
Right.
Like you're talking about when I'm talking about before they even took off. This lady was told to switch off her phone. In case you didn't know, that's what started the struggle. She was told to switch off your phone. She was told twice, right? By somebody they say was nice. Okay, I'm nice the first time. I'm courteous the second time. The third time you're walking on the plane, I should not have to.
So then the aircraft should never have taken off. That's what I'm saying.
No. What you're talking about is when they landed. She was the last person because after they landed, this woman went to go to the bathroom to go do whoever knows what. Again, for me, that's suspicious behavior. Like everything that happened. So this is from the beginning. She was told to switch off her phone. She did not. She was told twice by a flight attendant. She did. A second flight attendant, which is normal. If I tell you something and you're not responding properly, I have to walk away and make somebody come and talk to you. So you can then accuse me of harassing. Does that make sense to everybody?
I agree.
Okay, so I walk away from you because also I'm trying to keep my composure. I'm at work, right? I get paid. I don't want to get fired. I'm going to walk away from you and tell somebody else, okay, I have told this passenger to switch off their phone. They're not responding. So somebody else comes and says to you, please switch off your phone. Now, the somebody else that came and spoke to her is the person who got slapped. Because apparently when she came in, probably more stunned than the other person, the lady wasn't having it. And then she started complaining and saying, well, I'm trying to switch it off, but I can't find the button. If this is a phone that you use regularly and she's a slave when she's an influencer, she has pictures on her social media, this is a phone that you supposedly use regularly for your social media influencing, and you don't know it has buttons to switch it off. So then she said, okay, it's an iPhone she doesn't know how to use. The cabin crew responded that, she asked the girl, can you please switch it off? And the girl said, I'm not going to touch your phone, which again, she's well within her rights. If I take your phone from you and it breaks or stops working, you're going to accuse me, you're going to try to sue the airline, you want me to replace your phone. It's not happening. So that's why I want us to really, really, really look deeper and dig deeper. Stuff happened before they even took off. And that's why I was saying to you, at the point where you've been told 2-3 times switch off your phone, you're not going on that flight. I will not close the door after a passenger slapped you. Do you understand?
Right, now.
So now going forward, so then She still does not switch off the phone. Then the air hostess tells her again, I'm not going to touch your phone, you figure it out. And then a passenger next to her offers to help her to do it because they say they use the same phone. At this point, then she gets upset and is telling the air hostess, well, I would have done it, but I can't read. If you can't read, what are you doing with the phone? Like, how have you been using this phone up until this point if you cannot read? Which all of these I don't believe, by the way. But anyway, the passenger next to her took the phone from her and helped her. So then for the rest of the flight, she chooses to be belligerent and is throwing words at flight attendant number 2. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Then, of course, we do what we do, and by the time the plane landed, they informed airport security. Even before, once they take off and she was being belligerent, thinking she's gotten away with this and insulting the flight crew and telling her whatever she was telling her, right? Some people can take it, some people can't. Like I said to you, you can't talk to me anyhow. If we're already in the air, you know what's going to happen? If you're on the right side of the plane and you're talking trash, I'm going to go and start working on the left side of the plane. But I guarantee you, the moment I cross over from where I'm working, airport security is meeting you. And you'll be handed over to law enforcement. That's the way I operate.
Right.
Okay?
Now,
so now she's being belligerent, she's throwing insults at the flight attendant throughout the flight. Some people can take it, some people can't. Some people will match your energy and they will make you cry. And that's exactly what happened. So she's unhappy, flight attendant is unhappy. Then when they land, she says she needs to go use the restroom. At the time she's walking to the back of the aircraft to use the restroom, the rest of the passengers are deplaning. So then now she's the only person left on the plane. Whatever happened afterwards is what we're trying to determine. Yeah.
Right now,
you're saying that the flight attendant blocked her from getting up. I wouldn't do that. I would let her get up because guess what?
Hey, that's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to get to. That is that's it.
Some people can. Maybe she thought I'm going to do it. You know what? If this lady if this social media influencer gets on the airplane, she's going to go do stuff. She'll pay somebody and I will let her go. And she's like, I don't give a shit what happens. And she's like, we'll deal with this right here and then. There's some people like that. You know that. I'll deal with you right here and then. Maybe that's why she blocked her. I don't know. But that point where you were discussing that video you saw is after the flight.
Right now, T, if I can just jump in there, because obviously the good thing about this is, there's you and I, you're involved very much with airlines and I'm very much involved with security. So, we're two people that are actually well on point to talk about this actual topic. Now, this is my take on it. Now, I've heard everything that you've said thus far, right? Now, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. There's a right way and there's a wrong way to deal with this, right? Now, nobody deserves, right, to be spoken at, right? Everybody deserves to be spoken to, right? And as you know, I am a no-nonsense person myself. You understand? But what I'm still saying is this, right? Where the staff went wrong, right? Like you said, everybody had debussed, right? And they had got out of the aircraft. Now, this lady has misbehaved or whatever, right? What she did, right, is not unaccustomed to have the way Nigerians behave. Yes, she's a social media influencer. She's probably got millions and millions of followers and viewers, etc., and so forth. So she believes she's somebody, right? As in Nigeria today, as Motivator said earlier on, the moment you've got a few $1,000s in your account, you believe you are somebody, right? And you've probably got a couple of people, contacts in the local police department, or you've met the IG of police in Nigeria once or twice, or His Excellency the global president of the global clusters, who is attached to everybody, and suddenly you yourself, you are somebody. Because if you talk to me anyhow, I'm going to call Dr. Adekunle Badmus and tell him that, listen, this person was rude to me. Please contact the chief of army staff and call me the chief of general staff, etc., and so forth, or the provost marshal of the Nigerian military, and this is how people behave in Nigeria. But, right, as I said, there's a right way and there's a wrong way to do things, right? Now, she messed up, right? And I'm not going to sit here, all in the name of, yes, you know what, I've got to fight for the poor people, or I've got to fight for the rich people. She messed up, right? And we know she messed up, right? Because if there's no smoke without fire, right? Now, but where the staff should have got it right is, okay, fine. Now she is actually getting off the plane, right? When she gets downstairs, she's met by airport security, right? and she's escorted to where they're going to do their first or initial investigation. That's how things are done properly, right? Dragging the woman off unceremoniously, right? And she's not a terrorist, right? The only people I see get dragged off planes like that are terrorists. And that's because they're about to detonate, right? Or do something negative with regards to people's lives, right? The plane isn't about to take off. The plane isn't in midair. The plane has actually landed and she's getting off the plane. So what should have happened, right? Whether she abused me or she abused my mother, right? Is allow her to walk off that plane, right? Get down those stairs, because I'll tell you this now for nothing. Whether you like being abused or not, anyhow, she has smacked her head on one of those steps, right? I would want to see how you would defend that by saying, oh yeah, she slapped me upstairs. So therefore now she's fighting for her life because she slapped me and I feel violated. Do you understand?
So you say she was dragged off the plane. Who dragged her?
Have you not seen that video where they've exposed her breasts, everything? Right?
Who dragged her? I thought you said she was blocked from getting off the
She
plane.
was blocked, and then they came, and then all the security staff came on, right, and dragged her unceremoniously off that plane.
Okay, so airport security did get involved.
Well, I don't know whether they're security, but they were men in high vis because they did not behave like.
Something about this.
Yes, of course you can.
Thank you very much, my PA. I can see the way you take it, and it's and I want to appreciate the 001 Global Security Cluster of the Global Clusters, and the person of Sir Retired Michael Gbenga Oshin. Thanks for all you do to contribute positivity to humanity. You know, it's Let's Talk Security, and it's a program from the Global Security Cluster of the Global Clusters, and it's actually, we are not here to bring down anybody. We're strictly for nation building. So we want to put this straight. We're not trying to, when we bring up a discussion, it's not to incapacitate anybody, but we're here to just say it the way it is, and let people understand what we're communicating, the actions we're communicating to the global world, and we seek nation building. There are different stories to that issue, and people are bringing their own story and all of that. But all being said, switch off your phone. I learned that the lady said he does not know where to switch it off from. You know, I use an iPhone and I use an Android. I know it can be a bit technical to switch off your iPhone. I know that. But another thing, there was a lawyer that came out and said, I was there, and the air hostess was rude. So that was the part of the story. Then there was a place that I believe we did not see. At a point, both of them were weak, and they don't have their wig again. We didn't see what transpired between two of them. You understand? So, and in my mother's tongue, if not that, this is a global cluster meeting, I might not even say anything about it, because what I don't know, I don't want to say anything about it. But what I want to say is that anytime there is issue between us, I'm sending this message to everybody in the world, most especially my own people, my Nigerian people and my African people. Let us not be quick to bring ourselves down. That is my message. Small thing. Somebody will just say, oh, I will call you out. Oh, I will go and tell one person that will do this. Oh, you just want to destroy each other. Small thing. Do you know who I am? Do you know who you know what, King Marshall, all respect to you, sir. You know, a voice note late, and it was like, do you know who I am in this thing? Your CEO is this? No, you shouldn't be doing that. So what we're saying is that we are all human beings, regardless of our status.
That's right.
Whether we are high or we are, we are low, or anything is happening. You understand? No matter where we are. And that is what the global cluster is all about. The idea is that we all come together from whether you're in financial freedom, whether you're in your financial independence, whether you're in your financial stability, whether you're instability, whether you're even in crisis. And that is the essence, that we all come together and we all spend 3 major currencies, which is the knowledge, accurate knowledge, because that is what will give us the right power. Accurate information, because that is the bridge between where you are and where you ought to be. An accurate connection, because to whom you are connected to determine what you collect. And we are all submitting our connections to one another. Just like my PA, she's submitting her connection to me, I'm submitting mine to her, and the entire Colonel, she's submitting his, I'm submitting mine, Motivator is submitting his, I'm submitting, everybody, Grace to Travel is submitting it, and Mommy Jai is doing same, and everybody is doing same, and we're using it to involve. That is the idea. So please let us not be quick. Most of the things we put on the internet, we are bringing ourselves down. Somebody will just say, tell me more about Nigeria, and it will be one video. And it will be, and when I was leaving Abuja yesterday, they were just joking with me. They said, you are going to the airport now, so that maybe you two will not go and be I said, I will not do that for anything. I will just humble myself, follow the rules and regulations, and just do what I'm asked to do. You understand? So I said, we just laughed about it, and it's now something. Maybe they will now make you the brand ambassador to another airline. And I said, which airline are you? I said, Pastor. They said, oh, you be the ambassador too. So, but that is on a lighter note. But the message should be clear. We're all here for nation building. We're all bringing ourselves together all over the world. Nigerians, African, we have built something for the world. And it's the global clusters. And this aspect of the security, headed by this, my big brother here, is an aspect that is very sensitive. As a matter of fact, we'll be talking, because there is some new developments. You understand? So we'll be talking, and I believe a lot of good things is happening to the global clusters already, and we need everyone to jump on the bandwagon. We need more volunteers in virtually all the clusters. The security clusters need more volunteers. So if anything happens, please let us calm down with ourselves. That is my message. Let the lady calm down with the air hostess. Let the air hostess calm down. You are not enemies. You are your sisters. You understand? We're from the same nation. We're from the same continent. You understand? And we are from the same world. And we are only temporary tenants on this earth.
That's right.
We should think very deep. So why do you want to create enemies while you're a temporary tenant here? Even the things that we use are more of a permanent tenant than us. So we should live and let live. Ejikama nisuru for our. Ejika nisuru go leto nye. We have a very short time to live on this earth. Even if you're living 120 years, it's still short. Even if you're living 150 years, it's still short. So for a short while that you'll be around, please enjoy it. And don't try to create problem for anybody. And don't try to be a source of problem. That cannot bring about nation building. All of the things we put on the internet now, small thing we are putting on the internet. That is why a cluster is coming up. It's one of my boys is a great influencer. That is Demikis. Demikis is bringing up 30 lawyers in every communities. to fight for people silently, not bringing it to the internet. You understand? If there is anything, we don't need to start calling people out. We need to do it in a dignified manner. And that is what the global cluster is standing for. We're going to launch that cluster very soon. It's going to be a cluster of town criers that will come together to actually, make sure that everyone gets justice. And we only share good news. And that is what we want to stand for, please. So, having said that, I want to stop here for now till I'm being called to actually talk about the whole concept of the security cluster of the global clusters. So, on this matter of when anything happens among us, we're quick to say, I'll make sure you go to jail. If that lady goes to jail, will it increase your salary?
Mm.
Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we did not have the same knowledge. We don't assimilate at the same time. We're not too techy. A lot of us are not techy. So we should understand that place. That lady might not be techy. It's not that she wants to be rude. So please, there is a lot of it already. Hiking prices, fuel subsidy removal, this one, that one. It's yet too. And you can manage our eats here. Let's manage those eats that we have. So people are even looking for money to pay their student school fees now. A lot of things are happening around us. So let's discuss how we can create more factories. How we can put 3 people together to create a company. How we can create little cluster that will make sense. Please let us get behind a cluster like this, the security cluster of the global clusters. Let someone say, oh, Oshin, come to Nigeria, I'll furnish your house, I'll give you a car, I will do this. Okay, start training all the police, start training all the security personnel, start doing all of this. That is what we want to do. Somebody is listening to this on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok now. You know that you know somebody that can do this thing. Do it. That's what you should do. For nation building. This man is retired from the British Army and is ready to disseminate all of this thing. He's giving it to humanity free. He's an old man. He's not young. We'll soon be celebrating his 6th floor very soon. So please, let us not rush into bringing ourselves down. Please. This is my take. Thank you very much.
You know what?
Thank you so much, sir. I was going to jump in before he starts speaking because I know exactly what he's going to say next. Sorry, just really quickly. Someone asked me a question and they asked the same question again. So I wasn't ignoring you. I'm not. It's not something I can respond to you in a text. So Mary asked me, Sky, would you ask K1 to switch off his phone? I think most people would be too carried away to care if it was K1. And then she asked again, I meant, you think that the hostess would care about K1's phone, not you personally? It's the same question. If you're asking me, would I switch off my phone as an air hostess or the next person as a air hostess, that's the kind of training we receive. I don't care if you're the president of America, and I don't care if you're somebody that walked up the streets. If you're sitting on the plane and we're about to take off, you have to switch off your phone, and I will tell you to switch off your phone. If you don't switch it off, then we have a problem. So don't think about, and I know people get carried away with those celebrity here and there. It doesn't matter. It's the same for everybody. And well, fortunately for me, I have been in the airspace in Nigeria multiple times. I have not come across one rude air person. And for me, because I always try to gauge, I don't introduce myself until later on. So just as a courtesy amongst colleagues. Afterwards, I always tell them, thank you so much. I work for the airlines as well. And you see, they get so happy and they tell me what airline. Then when I tell them, they're like, oh. And I've stayed in touch with people. Like I have a lot of friends now in the industry here in Nigeria. And when these things happen, we exchange information. We've had stuff happen over there as well. And I don't know if you guys saw, there was a guy who was going back and forth with a flight attendant and he was actually smoking in the bathroom. Now you're smoking, you got caught. And the next thing he's going to say, don't touch me. That woman did not touch him. She was talking to him, telling him not to record her. Because again, you can't be recording me while I'm working. Do you understand? I don't come to your place of work and record you, assault you, harass you. Again, people forget we're human when they do this. nonsensical things. So she's trying to tell him, don't record me and don't record, on the plane. He starts yelling, I have 25,000 followers. Yes. And he's telling her, don't touch me. Oh, this woman, she just assaulted me, and he's recording her. And even people on the plane are shouting back at him, she did not touch you. So he's like, I'm a lawyer. I have a lawyer. I have 25,000 followers. This woman touched me. This flight attendant, blah, blah, blah. What's he trying to do? And like the ambassador just said, I think we should all just be mindful. Yes, let's practice patience. You know what? I'm a very non-confrontational person. I believe in peace. I bring peace. I want peace. But again, like I said, there's a limit to where you can test it, because also I am human. And I'm not going to speak for that flight attendant. I'm not going to speak for all flight attendants, but I will tell you that we don't come to work to get abused. And we see increase in unruly passengers and unruly behavior. And what the colonel said earlier as well about you have to be a terrorist to be dragged off. Not necessarily. If you are resisting, you will be dragged. Period. So I'm not condoning whatever behavior was exhibited to get her off the plane. She looks tiny. I feel I can take her off the plane without undressing her. So whatever that is, I think is also maybe a cultural thing. I have seen instances where women are being punished for doing stuff, and the first thing people do is to strip them. And that can be a different conversation. But I feel like when women are being punished, they always get stripped naked. That's just something I've observed. Maybe I know this is because I'm a woman myself. Do you understand? Like, if a man steals something, okay, fine. They whip them, they flog them. But the first thing they always go for is to tear the woman's clothes off. That's so degrading. That's so dehumanizing. And while we're having these conversations and talking to each other, I also want to appeal to everyone. It doesn't matter if it's an 8-year-old child, because this child will grow up and that video is out there on the internet is for life. Because people also, when they say their, domestic help stole or whatever, they strip females naked. I cannot stand it. And I hope for you that's watching, that's listening from wherever, you take it on board and recognize that no matter what this person has done, they do not deserve to be stripped naked. It's just inhuman. It's intolerable. It should not be happening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sky. I'm going to jump on the back of what you just said, because as His Excellency has said, this is a talk about security. But it's also a talk about common sense, and it's also a talk about the right things to do at the right time. Now, first and foremost, going back to that lady and going back to what the president said, personally, I'm one of these people that believes that there's certain things that you shouldn't be recording anyway, right? There's a lot of things that people seem to record nowadays and put out there in the social media that shouldn't be out there. That's number one. Number two, I've noticed, especially in countries like Nigeria, right, the police and all your security services do not know the right thing to do at the right time, right? Now, talking about stripping people naked, in Nigeria, it's not just the women, right? They strip the men naked too, right? Now, I do not understand, right, where you seem to not know where to draw the line in Nigeria, right? Number one, if you catch somebody doing something, right, especially police officers, right, until your investigation, even when your investigations are going on, you're not supposed to put video cameras or allow the general public to start putting cameras in people's faces and then splashing it all over social media, right? There's a lot of that goes on, right? This all goes against the rules of security, right? What if you got it wrong? What if that person didn't actually commit the crime they've been accused of? You've already splashed their face across social media, right? Now, yes, this altercation that happened between the two women on the plane, it could have been handled so much differently, right? It could have been, because Sky, yes, I know you're so non-confrontational. I've known you for years, right? You don't do confrontation, but you do stick up for yourself, right? And I know for a fact that if it had become physical, right, you probably would have, found a way to get off the plane, call airport security, and as she's coming down, had her dealt with them. Right now, these are the points that I'm trying to make. Right, I'm not, just like the president said, I'm not here to bring anybody down, but I am here to point out, right, the shortfalls and the shortcomings of people who are supposed to be doing the job a certain way. Right, and as I said when I started this broadcast this morning, let's put culture to one side. Right, let's put tradition to one side. Right, security isn't spelled any other way; it's still spelled security. Right. Work practices aren't spelled any other way. It's still spelled work practice, right? I am looking to leave the United Kingdom to go back to Nigeria to operate, right, as a facilitator, right, and as a service provider, right? I am not going to teach you culture, and I'm not going to teach you tradition, but what I am going to teach you is the right way and the wrong way to do security, right? Because as a security person, if I happen to be opportuned or honored with the task of looking after the president, right, and I leave Nigeria to go to the United Kingdom or go to the United States, right, I will not get to the United Kingdom and because someone looks at my president the wrong way, break his legs, right? Because then I will be tried and jailed according to British law, which is the law, right? So whatever practices, just like the global president said, right? If you do it right in Nigeria and you take it to the United Kingdom or the United States and you do it properly, those there will look at you and they will praise you for the fact that you got it right in your country and you brought it to their country and you did it right. Now, all those airport staff that dragged her off the plane, I can guarantee you if they got a job in the United Kingdom doing airport security and they got called in to deal with something, they would try and drag that person off the plane as well. Right? And if you ask them why they did that, they'll say, well, this is how we do it. Because I'll tell you what, I'll give you a very good story. And this is probably relevant. When I first came back to this country, the United Kingdom, in 1988-89, I got a job. This was my sojourn into the security world. I got a job working as security in a shopping center. Right now, because I'd lived in Nigeria for a couple of years, right? As far as I was concerned, once you wear a uniform, if someone does something wrong, right, the first thing you do is you go in there, you slap them, right? And this is me being 100% honest. The first thing you do is you go in there, you slap them, you rough them up, and then you throw them out. Right now, I was in a shopping center in East London called Dalston. Right? A lot of people who live in the United Kingdom, they all know Dalston Shopping Center. Now, I got called to a shop by the manager of the shop. She said, "This person is a white guy. This person is misbehaving in my shop, and I need him removed." Now, what I should have done was go in there and say, "Excuse me, sir, the owner of the shop doesn't want you here. Please, would you follow me out?" And I escort them off the premises. But no, what did Gbenga Oshin do? I went in there and said, "Did you not hear what he once said? Slap. Did you not hear her?" And I grabbed him by his collar and I roughed him up. And the woman looked at me. She said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "But you asked me to remove him now." You understand? So there's a right way and there's a wrong way to do things. Now, roughing up somebody or stripping them naked is not the right way to do it, because whether you are a criminal or not, you still have rights, right? And you will still have your right. You still have your rights violated by people who do not know the right thing because they haven't been told the right thing, And this is why we have to educate ourselves in the right way and the wrong way to do things. De-escalating an issue does not involve you showing the person that you've got just as much voice and as much mouth as them. De-escalating doesn't mean if someone strikes you, therefore you strike them back. And as our president, someone said, at one point they both had wigs on, and at another point they didn't have wigs on at all. Now everybody knows that the moment a black woman takes off her wig, it's on. Right? Everybody knows that the moment a black woman takes off her wig and she takes out her earrings, and she takes off the rings, it's on. Right? But the question is, do we want that? Right? We don't want that. Right? We want to do things the right way. And I'm going to jump on the back of what my president has said. Listen, you guys out there, masters of industry, managers of industry, presidents of industry, that includes you, Your Excellency, get me back home. Yeah? I need an office, I need a desk, a car, a driver, I need a nice house and a big salary because I want to come back home to make a difference, right? I've got Sky there who can be my air hostess. I'm going to take off her wig. Now, hopefully she won't drag me off the plane, but I need to come home. Okay. Your Excellency. Your Excellency, are you there?
Oh.
Your Excellency, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you, yeah, but your picture is frozen.
I think my internet is all right. I think my mother missed the chance and he had decided to start that thing. But if you can hear me, let me quickly
Yeah,
give my submission
I
right
can.
now.
Yeah,
Right?
you look like you're going out. Are you going somewhere? You have an event?
Yeah. We do have an event today, and I don't know. I want to say this. Um, uh, I'm at. I don't really have a lot of internet here too, but I think I'm out of the TikTok because of my modem went off.
Oh, okay.
All right, but having said that, I want to just give my last submission. It's let's talk security, and security is one of the major things that we still battle with here in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And this man has a lot of experience, and he needs to come back home. This is the book cluster. We're a consortium of professionals or aspiring professionals, technocrats or aspiring technocrats, entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs where we share accurate knowledge, accurate information, accurate connecting, you know, of our industry because that is what gives us the right power, you know, and we want everyone that is listening to us right now to be part.
Oh, they've they've taken our president away. Kenny Moore, hi, how you doing? I see you.
All right, let me
Ah, yes, we can hear you now.
continue with this.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so sorry, my modem went off, and so well, what I'm trying to say to everyone is that it's really, really very important that we should ensure that we all come together. We can solve this problem, even this security problem. We just need to create more opportunities. We are not trying to, catch thief or catch who is doing this. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
What we want to do is to create enough opportunity and educate people on how they can actually, secure themselves. You understand? That is what we want to do. And we want to let people know that insecurity is not a good thing. You understand? Like creating insurgency and all of that. We believe that there are people that feel that that's a great industry for them, but this is not good. This is destroying humanity, and it's not really good, to be frank. And we can channel our resources. We can make money the right way. Some people, make a lot of billions of dollars from insecurity, and they create one, and they are still the one that wants to get the money from the donors and all of that. But all of these things cannot take us to where we ought to be. We should all know that all we need to do is to make sure that we all come together and do the right thing. We all need to do the right thing. We all need to see something good like this. Someone has volunteered. He has volunteered to say, come on. And when it comes to Nigeria, he wants to train the police for free. He wants to train, as many, he's a British colonel. He will go into the military and offer them free trainings. You understand? He's going to offer them free trainings. You understand? So he's going to do a whole lot, and he's going to make sure that you do security the right way. We rode together last year, and every time you say, Ambassador, they are not doing this thing right. This is the way it should be. So let us learn. The idea, that's the idea of the global clusters. We have a knowledge that has not been helping us. Let us get another person's knowledge and let us embrace it. That is the idea. So, having said that, I will want to come out now because I have a couple of events today, and I want to go into that event and go and speak, and everybody motivate us, please. We want you into the global clusters, and please. And I can see come BAM 7, please. We want you to do your registration. We open
do your registration into the global cluster. African Gazer, please do your registration into the global cluster. Everyone that is on this call today, we want you, Kenny Moore, please kindly do your registration into the global Comfort E. Please do your registration. IG, please do your registration. Edu, your company, please. We need every one of you to come on this app. It's the latest social media platform, nation building. It's a place to mine and produce quality and accurate professionals, quality and accurate technocrats, and quality and accurate entrepreneurs. And great things are currently happening, and we need everyone to come together. You understand? No. You have to do a proper registration. I think Grace to Grace will actually, show you how to do it. Just connect with Grace to Grace. Grace to Grace will show you how to do your registration. Grace to Grace, my sister, please kindly follow up with all of the people I've mentioned their names so that we can get them started and to bring their registration into the global clusters, and so that they can be adding their voice to thousands of people that are already. It's an intellectual movement. You understand? We believe we don't need to be fighting to move. It's an intellectual movement. It's a movement. It's a place that you can have a sense of belonging. It's a place that you can get the right support, the right mentor, the right everything that you want in life to forge ahead. So it's an app. It's on Play Store. It's called the Global Clusters, man. It's called the Global Clusters. It's an app. It's on Play Store, and you can actually, download the app. You can go to shop.theglobalcluster.org and look at the Clusterian combo package, and you just sign up. A one-time lifetime fee is applicable, which is like for a Clusterian is 61K lifetime, and you have an opportunity to do a discounted UK diploma course from London to Career Institute on either cyber security, data analysis, and what have you. You understand? It's called the Global Clusters. The Global Clusters. I will put it on the comment section now. It's the best. It's the latest social media platform. And by the way, I want to say this: we have the best monetization on earth. It's with instant monetization because it's a membership-based social media platform. So the monetization is instant, even without any followers. People get to earn from the global cluster. It's something that you can use to empower those at home. You understand? You can empower people. Someone like Boss Lady Amokwe from Minnesota is the 001 Genuine Lovers, empower over 200 people in the community. You understand? So we can actually use it to empower people, and people can have a sense of belonging. We have over 500 CEOs in the platform as we speak. And we don't believe that we have a lot of opportunity for people. Most of the people that tell you, I don't have a job, auntie, please send me £10, send me £5, send me $5. Please, send them into the global cluster. Will get them something going. You understand? And they can move from there. So thank you very much. We are active after this security meeting in the evening. We'll be doing accurate knowledge and information revolution. And please, I want everybody to be there because the CEO of Remedy Earth, Remedy Earth, REMEDY Earth, EARTH. It's a power company that does steam to energy. It's not solar. It's not hydro. It's not wind, and it's not gas. It's steam energy, steam water to energy, and there's a lot of opportunity. They've adopted our platform to sell for them globally. And if you know any company that need energy, that makes sense, green energy, and they have money to invest in it, it's not that you're going to be looking for the money. So we're talking to all the local government chairmen and all of those now. Communities, they need 2 megawatt, 10 megawatt here and all of that. And telecommunication companies and all of that. So I need everyone to be part of the meeting. They did one yesterday at the certificate revolution, but it's not enough. And I said, I told the African regional director to invite the global CEO all the way from Spain You understand? So, and that is, you're going to get accurate knowledge, accurate information, and you're going to be having accurate connection there, in that meeting by 5 p.m. Nigerian time. So don't miss it. Thank you very much, the 001 Global Security Cluster of the Global Clusters. And thank you, everyone that has spoken today. Please kindly follow up with each other. If you check my TikTok account, the Global President, you will see most of the things that we've done. You understand? The Global Cluster is just 1 year old, and it's proudly Nigeria, proudly Africa. And we did something massive, great. We have the best monetization in the world, better than Facebook monetization, better than TikTok monetization, better than any monetization you could think of. Because I know what I'm saying. You can engage me on that. Thank you very much. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you very much, Global President, Your Excellency. It's always a pleasure to have you here. It's been a pleasure having everybody here today. And as I said earlier on, I'm here every Saturday morning at 9:30 to talk about security matters. And obviously, we bring up certain topics that have happened during the week that concern either security or things that concern everybody else. I welcome Comam 7 and of course Mary O. It's good to hear from you. Contact me and I can brief you more about the global clusters. My brother Motivator, it's always great to see you. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to call it a day now because I've got one or two things that I've got to run around and do as well today. But as the president said, we have another meeting here online tonight at 5 o'clock. Just log on to the Global Clusters and follow on with one of the other 001s or one of the other CEOs. There's a lot to gain from the Global Clusters. You have property, like with Grace to Grace, who does properties, and you've got Dr. Shea Makinde, who is the 001 for the ARE, which is agriculture, real estate, and export. There's a lot going on. But tune in to the Global Clusters and find out what's going on ground. It's something for everyone to benefit from, right? And don't get it twisted. We're not a pyramid. Something whereby you bring someone else in and you bring another person in and you bring someone else in before you can earn something. Jump in and listen to the people speak. It's not a cult. It's not a pyramid. It's just something for us, by us, whereby both here and all areas of Africa, we can come together as a people and start building and taking back what we've lost. So as I say goodbye to you, I am Michael Gbenga Oshin, retired military officer of the British Army, a security professional. I now deal with close protection and security training. And I am here every Saturday morning. So thank you once again for everyone, and God bless you. Have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, they've recorded it from the time even before they got to the entrance, right? And it definitely shows. Right, they've recorded it from.
Drove my way.
Exactly. This woman blocked her exit from the plane.
How? Drove my way.
Exactly. This woman. Right, she stood in front of her and put both arms across the exit of the plane.
Drove my way.
Exactly. This woman blocked her exit. Like she wasn't getting off. The woman was at.
So where was airport security?
There was.
There should be a back.
It definitely goes down to lack of training. Right now, definitely boils down to.
Kíní kan pariwo ni kò jẹ́ ń sùn. Oh, gbọ́ kíní tó ń pariwo the whole night ni.
Now here's my take, right?
Alarm.
You've got a woman on board the plane
Smoke alarm. Battery is running.
is not getting on with a member of your staff. Right now, you haven't investigated to see the crux or the genesis of this altercation. Right now, God so good, someone's recording it. Right, they've recorded it from the time even before they got to the entrance. Right, and it definitely shows. Good morning. Right, and it shows that it's one of those guilty, right, of starting this altercation. Right now, I don't think I will ever buy this notion of. I don't buy it, and I won't buy it. Right, because I don't see why. It definitely boils down to lack of training. Right now here's my take. Right now, you've got a woman on board the plane who is not getting on with a member of your staff. Right now, you haven't investigated to see the crux or the genesis of this altercation. Right now, God so good, someone's recording it. Right, they've recorded it from the time even before they got to the entrance. Right, and it definitely shows. Thank you, Sky. Good morning. Right, and it shows that one of those guilty, right, of starting this altercation. Right now, I don't think I will ever buy this notion of. I won't buy it. Right, because I don't see why. It definitely boils down to that. Right now, here's my take. Right now, you've got a woman on board the plane who is not getting on with a member of your staff. Right now, you haven't investigated to see the crux or the genesis of this altercation. Right now, God so good, someone's recording it. Right, they've recorded it from the time even before they got to the entrance. Right, and it definitely.
You didn't add me to this thing for a long time.
It's one of those guilty, right, of starting this altercation. Right now, I don't think I will ever buy this notion of. I don't buy it, and I won't buy it. Right, because I don't see why. It definitely boils down to lack of training. Right now, here's my take. Right now, you've got a woman on board the plane who is not getting on with a member of your staff. Right now, you haven't investigated to see the crux or the genesis of this altercation. Right now, God so good, someone's recording it. Right, they've recorded it from the time even before they got to the entrance. Right, and it definitely shows. Thank you, Sky. Good morning. Right, and it shows that one of those guilty, right, of starting this altercation. Right now, I don't buy, and I don't think I will ever buy this notion of. I don't buy it, and I won't buy it. Right, because I don't see why. It definitely boils down to lack of training. Right now, here's my take. Right now, you've got a woman on board the plane who is not getting on with a member of your staff. Right now, you haven't investigated to see the crux or the genesis of this altercation. Right now, God so good, someone's recording it. Right, they've recorded it from the time even before they got to the entrance. Right, and it definitely shows. Thank you, Sky. Good morning. Right, and it shows that one of those guilty, right, of starting this altercation. Right now, I don't buy, and I don't think I will ever buy this notion of. I don't buy it, and I won't buy it. Right, because I don't see why. It definitely boils down to lack of training. Right now here's my take. Right now, you've got a woman on board the plane who is not getting on with a member of your staff. Right now, you haven't investigated to see the crux or the genesis of this altercation. Right now, God so good, someone's recording it. Right, they recorded it from the time even before they got to the entrance. Right, and it definitely shows. Thank you, Stan. Good morning. Right, and it shows that it's one of those guilty, right, of starting this altercation. Right now, I don't buy, and I don't think I will ever buy this notion of.
I don't see anything from.
I don't buy it, and I won't buy it. Right, because I don't see why. It definitely boils down to lack of training. Right now here's my take. Right now, you've got a woman on board the plane who is not getting on with a member of your staff. Right now, you haven't investigated to see the crux or the genesis of this altercation. Right now, God so good, someone's recording it. Right, they recorded it from the time even before they got to the entrance. Right, and it definitely shows that one of those guilty, right, of starting this altercation. Right now, I don't buy, and I don't think I will ever buy this notion of. I don't buy it, and I won't buy it. Right, because I don't see why. It definitely boils down to lack of training. Right now here's my take. Right now, you've got a woman on board the plane who is not getting on with a member of your staff. Right now, you haven't investigated to see the crux or the genesis of this altercation. Right now, God so good, someone's recording it. Right, they recorded it from the time even before they got to the entrance. Right, and it definitely shows. Right, and it shows that it's one of those guilty, right, of starting this altercation. Right now, I don't buy, and I don't think I will ever buy this notion of. I don't buy it, and I won't buy it.
Unless.
Right, because I don't see why. It definitely boils down to lack of training.
Yeah.
Right now here's my take. Right now, you've got a woman on board the plane who is not getting on with a member of your staff. Right now, you haven't investigated to see the crux or the genesis of this altercation. Right now, God so good, someone's recording it. Right, they recorded it from the time even before they got to the entrance. Right, and it definitely
Only at one point they had good shots.
Right now, I don't buy, and I don't think I will ever buy this notion of.